you are running a private practice, there are a few red flags that you need to watch out for, because ignoring them could lead to some serious financial problems. Financial red flags could lead to serious cash flow issues, underpricing, tax headaches, and even you having to close your practice if you're not careful. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kim. I help therapists in private practice with their business systems and processes, getting them confident with admin and reducing tech overwhelm. And just a quick disclaimer for this video, I am not a financial advisor, I'm not an accountant, I'm not a trained bookkeeper, but I have worked with therapists in private practice since 2016, and some of these things I have seen again and again. So I want to just pre-warn you about these things and make sure that your practice is on financial solid ground. Okay, so the first red flag is not knowing your monthly business costs. This is so important. When you come to setting your rates, lots of people that I have spoken to, and just from seeing in therapist Facebook groups and things like this, look around at their local area and other therapists and just pick the same cost as them without knowing any details about where that cost has come from. You don't know how many clients they're seeing, you don't know their financial background, you don't know if they have a partner who is the breadwinner and bringing in the majority of the money for the house. You don't know any information about how they got to that figure, and it's really important that you understand your own financial needs before you decide on a rate for your practice. You need to know how much you need to earn and bring in for yourself, plus your operational costs, which are all of the expenses that you need to keep your practice running. This could be room rent, it could be supervision, it could be anything for your office like a computer or a laptop or a printer. It could be your notebooks. It can be any training that you need to do to keep up your accreditation. It can be any online systems you're using like Zoom or Google Workspace to run your private practice. You need to understand all of your expenses in order to add that to what you want to earn to create your fee for your clients. I do have another video. It's a super quick video which goes through how to do a calculation to get to your ideal fee. So I'm going to link that there, and I highly suggest that you go to that video next, because that is going to really help you understand what fee it is that you need for yourself and your circumstances, because it's going to be different for everyone. If you take a look at one of your peers and say, oh, they're charging £55 an hour, I'll just choose that. But you can only complete 10 sessions a week, and that person is completing 15 sessions a week. They are going to earn significantly higher than you are earning, and you not doing that calculation and understanding what that means for you and how much money that's going to bring into your business is not a good way to start. If you are brand new to private practice and you don't know what your expenses are going to be, write down everything you think that you are going to need and do some research online to see how much that's going to cost you, and then average it out. I do have another video all about the expenses in private practice, so I'll also link that video as well, because that is going to help you get started if you are brand new. You also need to start tracking everything. You need to start tracking your revenue and your expenses so that you can really make sure that what you have calculated is accurate. And I would highly suggest doing your bookkeeping on a monthly basis. That is my number one tip throughout this month, and everything I'm teaching around finances is to understand your numbers and to make sure that you are tracking them and keeping track of them and being able to make decisions really quickly, rather than waiting till the end of the tax year and potentially losing out on revenue and also the chance to reduce your expenses. Red flag number 2 is you haven't changed your prices in years. You need to raise your rates every single year, and I would suggest you do this for new clients and also current clients. You want to bake this into your therapy agreement and say in the agreement that you have the right to raise your fees, and it will be done annually, and they will be given a month's notice or 2 months notice or whatever it is. You don't want to say something like, I'm going to raise my fee by £5 every single year, because one year you may need to raise it more than that, and then you're not able to do that because it's already in the contract that they have signed. Everything goes up every single year. Everything that you have, so all of your online systems, the room you hire, probably your supervision, online training courses and things like that, that will all increase. And so as your expenses increase, you need to increase your rates just to earn the same amount of money that you were earning before. I would highly suggest doing that fee calculator exercise every single year so that you know what your ideal fee should be. and also creating an email template that you can send to your clients on an annual basis, letting them know about the fee increase. Red flag number 3 is offering too many discounts. I have been in conversations with therapists where we're doing a discovery call where the therapist wants to work with me as the VA. And I've said to them, as a VA, not as a client coming to seek their services, and I say, okay, what's your rate? And they say to me, my rate is X, but blah, 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 before I've even spoken. And also, I'm not even the client. So I know for a fact that that happens where you will say your fee and then you will automatically jump in and say, but if you can't afford that, we can, I can offer you a discount, or we can do bi-weekly sessions. And you jump in before the client even has a chance to say, okay, that's fine. If somebody is told, but I can give discounts, most people are going to say, oh, great, yeah, I would like a discount, please, because people love getting discounts. But if you are really resolute and say, this is my fee, your fee is on your website, your fee is on your directory listing, you list it everywhere, people can see it. You even say it in your reply to their inquiries as well. You say, this is my fee. If you'd like to book a intro call with me, you can book here or whatever. Don't automatically assume that you need to say, but I can offer you a discount. Some people may need a discount, and if you are able to do that and offer that, then great, but you need the majority of your clients paying your full fee. You cannot start a reduced fee program until you have full fee paying clients. I don't know any other service-based industry where there is just discounts given away to clients. I don't go to the hairdresser and say, how much is it for a cut and blow dry? And they tell me it's £60 and I say, oh, can I pay 50 please? Like, that doesn't happen. I don't have a plumber come into my house to fix my blocked toilet and say to them, oh, can I have a discount? So you do not need to offer discounts to clients. I know that most therapists that I come across are really caring, kind, compassionate people, but you do also need to be business minded as well. You are not going to be able to feed your family if you constantly give discounts to people and you are not earning what you need to earn. And I don't think you need to feel guilty about that. So the fix for this is making sure that the majority of your clients are paying your full fee. In order to compensate for people that you are offering lower rates to, you actually need to increase your main fee to bridge the gap. So I would suggest looking at that as well. Maybe you say that 10% of your clients you will take at a discounted rate, but you need to make sure that that money is being made up elsewhere. Make sure you also know your minimum fee. If it is costing you more to do the session than you are actually earning, there is no point seeing that client. It's not going to help anyone and it's going to cause resentment in the long run. Practice saying your rate and then not saying anything after. You want that number to just be that. It's just a number. There's no emotion tied to it. And you want to say over and over again, my fee is £80. My fee is £80, and not have any emotion attached to it, so that you can just say that really confidently when a client asks you and don't say anything else after that. If a client then asks for a discount, then you will need to have a look and see, okay, do I have enough full paying clients to be able to give this person a discount? Or should you say, no, I already have too many people on my lower fee program and this is the only thing that I can offer you, or refer them to someone else. Red flag number 4 is clients constantly paying late. This is going to cause you a huge cash flow problem if you are not getting enough money in order for you to pay yourself and also pay your expenses. It can also cost you so much time in admin, in chasing payments constantly, sending emails, speaking to them in session and things like that, and can really weigh on you emotionally. So my fix for this is making sure that you have clear payment terms. You want to make sure that your clients know exactly when they need to pay. I would also say send them an invoice. Even if you create manual invoices and you just want people to pay you via backs, make sure you create those invoices and send to them. People are much more likely to pay when they actually receive an invoice for that payment. I would also suggest taking payments up front, so that if people have late cancellations and things like this, you don't have to go through the process of asking for the money. You just hold the money and just say, I'm sorry, but you cancelled outside my cancellation policy, and so I'm going to have to retain the fee that you've paid for that session. I have lots more to say on invoicing and getting clients to pay on time, and I'm actually making a whole video around this in the next couple of weeks. So make sure to come back, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can get notified as soon as that video comes live, because it's going to be a good one. Talking about cancellation policies, red flag number 5 is not having a cancellation policy. Many therapists I know either don't have a cancellation policy or don't enforce their cancellation policy, and I think this is bad. Therapy is one of those things that nobody really wants to do. I'm just talking from personal experience here. I'm going to talk in first person. I know that when I have a therapy session on my calendar, I dread it. I usually do not want to go to it. I don't want to take time out of my work or whatever it is that I'm doing to sit down and just look at myself, quite frankly. So it is one of those things that clients do cancel, and you need to have some kind of repercussion for that to make sure that you earn in the money that you thought you were going to earn. So things around this that you can do is have a very clear cancellation policy. You can decide what that is. That's the beauty of being in private practice. I know people that have 24 hours up to 1 week. So it really is up to you. I think out of all the clients I've worked for, the average is about 48 hours. So it's up to you what you want to do. Make sure you communicate that to your clients in the agreement, in the welcome email, in conversations, and also when you are sending them appointment reminders, you want to make it clear that if they cancel this session within X amount of time, they will still need to pay for the session. And make sure you enforce it. Okay, the first time somebody does that, you might say, I'm just letting you know that my cancellation policy is 48 hours. I'm going to let you off this time. However, going forward, if you do not let me know or give me enough notice, you will be charged the full fee. It's up to you if you want to do that. You can just enforce it straight away. And like I said lots of times, that's the beauty of running your own business. You can make your own rules, but just make sure that you are sticking to those rules as much as possible. Otherwise, clients will just assume that you're not going to enforce it. And actually, although my therapist has a cancellation policy, I don't really need to worry about it. There are lots of ways that you can reduce no-shows and cancellations in private practice, and I have a whole video about that, which I will also link. I actually did that as a workshop, and it was one of my top attended workshops, so I know that this can be a real big problem in private practice. Okay, red flag number 6, you're regularly dipping into your personal savings. Now, this can be because of all of the things that we have just talked about: not having a cancellation policy, but assuming that you're going to earn a certain amount of revenue, not taking into account your expenses, not upping your fees, so you're actually earning less each year. So if you are noticing that you're having to dip into your personal savings so that you can earn enough money, or you're actually having to put money into the business to pay for your expenses, then that is a really big problem. What I would say for that is that you really need to start tracking your income and your expenses. Are people paying you on time? Are people paying you at all? Do you know what your expenses are? I do have a bookkeeping template which you can purchase. I'm going to leave a link in the description. I would highly recommend that you get that and start tracking what you are earning and your expenses. And if you purchase that in April 2025, I do have a free workshop where I'm going to talk you through how to set it up, how to use it, and answer questions about bookkeeping in private practice. We're also going to process April's expenses so you can see how the template actually works and feel confident to complete this for the rest of the tax year. You will also need to find a way to increase your fees or earn additional revenue with additional types of income. So that could be by doing groups, creating some kind of download that you can sell, by doing intensives. There's lots of different ways that therapists in private practice can earn money outside of one-to-one therapy, but you're going to have to do something to increase your revenue and or reduce your expenses. Red flag number 7 is not having an emergency fund for your business. If you do not save money in your account and you're taking out all of the profit all of the time, what happens if you get sick? What happens when you do take holiday and you are not earning during that time? What happens if one part of your expenses goes up dramatically? Maybe you're renting a room and they put the room rate up by £5 an hour, and that's a significant additional expense for your practice. It's really important to make sure that not only are you earning what you need to earn and you're covering your expenses, you also need to account for this unexpected events. And I do talk about that in that quick video that I mentioned about how to calculate your ideal rate. And I did say that you need to make sure that you are taking off weeks that you are not going to work. And I don't want you to just take off, oh, I'll just take off 4 weeks a year. No, you should be doubling that and saying, okay, well, I might be sick, or there might be training courses that I need to do, or I might actually need to take some additional time off if my kid's sick or I get sick. You want to make sure that what you are earning each month is more than you need so that you can build up a savings pot in your private practice business account. And red flag number 8 is not saving any money or setting aside money for taxes. This is something that every single business owner needs to pay. And so we have taxes, we have national insurance, you might also have a pension that you need to pay into. So you want to make sure that you are not taking all of the profit from your business and not saving anything for tax. A good rule of thumb is to save between 20 and 30% of your profit for tax, on the assumption that that's probably more than you will need and that you'll have a little bit left over by the end of the year. But I would make sure that you have some kind of different bank account for your tax. So if you use a bank like Starling, you can create spaces where you move a certain amount of money each month for your taxes, and then it doesn't look like it's in your bank account, although it still obviously is. And then when you need it, you can transfer it back and pay your tax bill. If you would prefer, you could draw it out of your business account and keep it in a separate savings or personal account so that you know that that is there when it comes to paying your tax bill. You know you've got the money saved for that. So I would highly recommend not taking it out and keeping it in your personal account, not keeping it in your business account where you pay your expenses and things like that. Try and move it so that it's not in view and it doesn't look like money that you can take or use to pay for other expenses. Even if your finances are feeling totally overwhelming, there are small steps you can take that are going to make a huge difference. My number 1 recommendation is to make sure that you are tracking your revenue and expenses on a monthly basis. You can use my spreadsheet tracker, which you can purchase, or you can create your own, or I'm sure there's plenty of others that you can purchase online. Just start tracking your expenses. You could also sign up for QuickBooks or Sage or Xero or something like that if you would prefer to have some kind of online system. But just make sure that you are tracking your revenue and expenses. The next thing I would say is to go to that video. I keep pointing, I can only link it once, I don't know why I keep pointing, but go to the video in my description, which is how to calculate your ideal fee, and just look at what that should be. It might show you that it is way higher than you are currently charging, and you're thinking, okay, well, there's no way I can get to that with my current clients now. That's okay. Knowledge is power, and knowing what fee you need can help you make decisions. Maybe you need to see more clients to be able to reduce that fee. Maybe you need to put that fee up straight away on your website and direct your listing for new clients. Maybe you need to find a different way to make additional revenue, or maybe you need to reduce your expenses. But like I said, knowledge is power. So understanding what your rate needs to be is going to be really helpful for you. The next thing is putting policies in place. So making sure that you have an invoicing policy, make sure that you have a payment policy, that you are invoicing your clients, and making sure that you're chasing them up if they are not paying you, and also implementing a cancellation policy. You can put these into your paperwork. You can send clients an email to let them know the updates with your therapy agreement. You can get them to sign it again, whatever it is you need to do. Just make sure that you create these policies and start implementing them. I know that that may also feel quite scary to start being a little bit more harsh with your clients when it comes to payments and cancellations, but you really do need to remember that you are a business and this is not a charity that you are running, unless you are running a charity, and in that case that's very different. So if you want to get on top of your bookkeeping, check out my template in the link or scan this QR code. And remember, if you buy the template in April, you will be invited to a workshop where we will do our bookkeeping together for April. We'll set it up and get you feeling really confident with understanding your finances. Until next time, thanks so much for watching.